The second step really has to be assessing your data for readiness, because, and this is something data analysts, data engineers have been saying for years. Big companies always start with this problem that they're trying to solve, and there have been massive advances in the last 10, 15 years in terms of the tooling that can do this. But if your data is not in a good position and you're training your AI up, then you're going to get garbage coming out, and you can't really avoid that step of the process. Now, I think with AI, it's a little bit different to a straightforward data engineering piece where you're going from original data, some level of transformation, and then reporting or analytics that comes out at the end of it. Because there are various different ways of getting data into an AI. So you might be actually having a bespoke model that's being trained, and that bespoke model is being trained on your data. So therefore you have a big data piece that needs to be in place first of all if your data isn't up to speed. And up to speed doesn't just mean good, clean, and comprehensible. It means correctly labeled for ingestion into a model as well. So that's one model. The other way is to use what's called RAG, which is basically you have a standard model that exists, and then at the time of your question or your query, you feed it information related to the specific question that you're looking at. And this is a model that it allows a little bit of a halfway house between the data engineering and the fully fledged model, because you can build processes, traditional processes, around the construction of that query and the retrieval of the information specific to that query, which means you can then, as an ongoing basis, continue the enhancement and cleansing of your data, but still see real returns from the AI while that process goes on. So again, it's kind of a strategic decision. It's an understanding of the cost versus the speed of which you want to get a result. And also, as always, it's a question of how good is your data at the point of use.
So it's like bolting on instructions on how to find the data in the mess of data that you have.
It is, exactly. It's just like, basically you've got a mass of data, you do a search, you get the bit you want, and you send it to the AI. And I say it's as simple as that. It's obviously a little bit more sophisticated than that, but essentially that's what it's doing. And so the AI doesn't need to have real knowledge of your organization at that point, depending on what you're wanting to do with it. So if you're wanting to ask questions or you're wanting to get information about, specific information that exists within your organization, that's sufficient. If you want to go forward and do predictive analytics based on the trends and customer journey, for example, of all of your customers and draw some extrapolations from that, then you probably do need to feed that and train a model on that data, because it's not just dealing with a little bit of data at a time, it's sizable on that. But there are more than one ways of doing it.